Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Cocktails and Rocktails with me, your most notorious groupie, my heart finger, and my book. The paperback version, one of the older covers, because I do switch up the covers every so often. If you're an author on Amazon doing your own thing, switch up your covers once in a while because it boosts your book back up to the head of the, new book, new cover kind of cue. So, this is my paperback version, you guys. These are my other books. Where you can get that, all my funny-ass merchandise down in the Linktree description. So go down, hit that Linktree, find it all about, fiddle about, use your fingers, little foreplay. Because there's always something that good coming out of a little foreplay. For reals. And for reals, you guys, I'm always truly thankful of just everybody here, the family that we have, the community that we're growing. Welcome to all the new people. You guys are fucking amazing. Go down in the comments, get to know the family here, because we have a lot of amazing music fans here, amazing people, amazing conversations going, a lot of opinions, and in a respectful way, we all kind of talk to each other here. So go down. Don't be afraid to communicate. Don't be afraid to join the party, you guys. You're always welcome. So, and speaking of always welcome, some things that are not always welcome is the generalization, the abuse of the word groupie. And I know this is a subject that I've covered before, but today we're going to talk about that again, because for some of you new members that might be coming here, we might have been just meeting off of a certain influencer on TikTok's comments about just yet another unresearched bullshit talking about a groupie with Jimmy Page. So, and we already know who that is here. And today, because things are going to get messy, we're going to have a Bloody Mary. Just simple, easy, super delicious drink. I love it. Definitely not the Oris Bloody Mary. And if you're drinking an Oris Bloody Mary right now, try not to pass out. So, all right, everybody, grab your drinks, kick up your feet, and let's have a little cocktails, rocktails. Cheers, big ears. I do love a good Bloody Mary. It's just a classic drink. It's so easy. Just some tomato juice, vodka. I use a little Beaumont seasoning, pepper. Oh, just so good. Definitely going to swallow that over Kip Winger any day. That's a classic. Not what Kip Winger tastes like. Ugh. All right. So, like I said, today's topic, we're going to get into a lot of the way people, use the word groupie, the abuse of the word groupie in so many different directions. And like I said, I know this is a subject that I've talked about before, but it just keeps coming up, because like I said, there's some new people here that might be from TikTok, as we were having a conversation on Hawk. He's, for the Metallica fans out there, he was Lars Ulrich's divorce attorney. He's a big influencer on TikTok, has his own show here on YouTube, Hawk Droppings. He put up a post recently talking about Lori Maddox. And you guys know I've done episodes on Lori Maddox and versus Sable Starr, stuff like that. But problem is, my version is coming from actual firsthand knowledge, not just of the groupie scene, but of the bands that they knew, of people that knew them, my experiences having met a couple of them, stuff like that. They're, Hawk and other TikTokers, like Hawk, this is a subject that's been being covered for 5 years on TikTok with Lori and Jimmy Page. And it's very kind of unresearched. She's like, go look at the pictures. And Hawk, come on, you're a lawyer. You know what putting false information can make you vulnerable to, because you didn't tell the whole story. And most people don't. So don't feel bad, because most people don't. And then, influencers going to Metallica concerts and putting, I'm a groupie for the band. Lick my starfish, bitch. Anybody who does that, look at me, I'm a groupie. That is a fake groupie, because you guys don't understand how abusive, how lightly you take that word, when us women that are groupies and road wives, we get abused because of it. You guys use it as a little tool to catch headlines, clicks and likes, or to tell somebody else's story through your opinion. We have to wear it like a scarlet fucking letter. Okay, so we're going to talk about that today. Because what people don't really realize, the first thing about groupies, and of course I've got my notes over here. We all know I just kind of talk raw. I don't practice anything, but while I, thinking of subjects, or other people are giving me ideas for subjects, you guys are talking down in the comments, I constantly have my head turning around that subject, and I'm go on my phone. I'm like, hey, okay, add this to this, So anyway, first and foremost, what you guys don't realize, groupies aren't starfuckers. See, there is a whole different level. Groupies and road wives, we're one and the same. We are fans in a way that people out in the crowd will never understand. We love the music. It's not that just we love that band. We love the music as a community, as a family, as the eye of the storm, where everything that you guys are watching from the front row, we're watching it be created. Whether it's the song, whether it's the concert, whether it's an interview, whether it's a video, whether it's, like I said, a song being written. You know how many times I've sat on the set of a band shooting a video? I've sat in a hotel room next to a musician playing a riff that he just invented. So groupies, ladies and gentlemen, are fans on a whole other fucking level. We're not just buying all their merchandise. Well, we're not buying any of it. You guys are... Groupies kind of get spoiled with freebies. But anyway... you guys are buying the merchandise. You guys are buying the albums, going to the concerts, participating, making friends with other fans, and making your community that way. Well, our community is much deeper than that. Like I said, we are there for its fucking roller coaster of emotions, good, ugly, bad, in between, boring, mundane, getting lost, not even know where you are on tour. It is not for the weak. So if you understand that about the groupie word, which most people influencers who use that word of, look, I'm with the band, I bought myself a 1500 VIP visa, or I'm using a friend of mine to get backstage passes so I can post this on my website and get more clicks and likes and be more relevant. Well, groupies don't give a fuck about that. Like before John Entwistle died, because a lot of you here don't know, I'm the woman with John Entwistle when he passed away, the bass player of The Who. That was 17 years into my rock and roll life. I was perfectly fucking happy being unknown to the rest of the world, like most groupies are. As long as we are known to our boys, rock and roll, to the musicians, the roadies, we're happy. We're cool. We are happy with our social circle. So being a groupie isn't like, oh, we're there to just sleep with the rock stars. No. The rockers, and this is actually learned from the rockers in the 80s, they have different categories, the groupies and the road wives. Top of the totem pole. Back lounge Betties. Totally fun chicks, usually hanging out on the bus after the show when the band has to go. Everybody's having drinks, people are partying, might get naked in the back lounge, having a good time. Blast girls, really fun, nice girls. But, that's just their thing. They like to have a good time, maybe take a couple guys on the back lounge, have a couple good times. A lot of this doesn't happen anymore, but for a long time, just the past 10 years, it's kind of mellowed out. And even then, people are still having fun on the bus after midnight. It's like feeding gremlins. If you've seen the movie Gremlins, it's like feeding the gremlins after midnight, rock and roll style. Things can get a little crazy. But, so those are the back lounge Betty's. Totally cool, totally open, totally game, totally fucking killer bitches, right? Then you have your ramp rats. The girls hanging out after the show, kind of by the buses looking for autographs, maybe a little more, but in a pinch. Then you have your starfuckers and social media influence, the bottom of the barrel scraping the fucking slime. Catch my drift? So keep my name groupie out your mouth if you're a social influencer just using it because you happen to buy a VIP package or had a friend that got you backstage, or, just took a picture of them at the hotel where they're staying. Which is cool. Do your fan stuff. Do that. Because that's what these guys live for. That's how they know that that they're doing good to you guys, that they're touching you guys the way they want to. That's great. Do it. But don't use the word groupie. Super fan, Swiftie, I don't even know what they call, the Slayerettes or whatever. I don't even know what they call. There's a whole group that follows around U2, that they all know each other. They're from all over the world, and they meet up at different U2 concerts. They know where the band's staying, stuff like that. I mean, that's awesome. That's cool. But you're not groupies, right? And like I said, lowest and low, starfuckers. They only use their status or their Visa cards or their friends. They only use them to project a certain more facade, as they've been, because the other, they've got to refresh it. They've got to keep it from being stale, and I get that. I do this, but I've never been one to put on facades, so I totally suck at doing that, which is probably why I don't have 100,000 followers after a few years, because I suck at that. I just genuinely hope that people like what I have to say. I don't gear anything. I don't need to take 5 shots of me walking backstage, or, me walking by the tour buses and stuff like that. I don't need to do a bunch of different takes. It's not a production to me, to a groupie. So if you understand that that's what a groupie is the ultimate fan. A groupie is dedicates their life. Because guys can be groupies too. Everybody can be a groupie no matter who you are. So groupies dedicate their lives to not only the band and the eye of the storm with the band, but they are also very strong human beings, because we got to take a lot of shit. We've got to take a lot of, like when influencers post, look at me, I'm the band's groupie now, but then they turn around and they talk about me. Oh, fucking horror groupie. So we got to take a lot of that double standards, by society, when really behind the scenes, we're good friends with the band. They have respect for us. They treat us like fucking goddesses, and I'm not even kidding. Not even kidding. They are very protective of their friends and their lovers and stuff. And you don't have to be, a lover to be a groupie, but it does happen. It's like being a geisha. Your Mizwagi gets lost somewhere along the way, but so it's like groupies are very strong, free-spirited, independent-minded women, because we do have to deal with the double standard of society, like that, like those kinds of posts. We have to deal with other people telling our stories for us. Like Hawk, he was talking about Jimmy Page and Lori Maddox, how he hates this app. Well, because Jimmy Page, how young Lori Maddox was. Well, did he even go watch any of the videos of her interviewing it? Fuck no. Because he would have said no, she was totally enthusiastic. She was totally game for it. She was already hanging out in the rock world. So she was really, truly the only thing Lori was scared about the night Jimmy, band napped her, as I called it. Not kidnapped, band napped. Because as a groupie, we all kind of want to be band nap. I have a picture on TikTok of Chuck Billy from Testament pulling my arm, trying to take me onto the bus, and no, just come to the next city with me. No, I have another band tomorrow. Go, So people tell this story, like he was talking about this and saying how, but what he didn't realize is, watch her interviews. She was thrilled to do this. Yes, there are victims that need to be spoken for, that need to be heard, that need their justice done. But that's not everybody's story. So don't present, because we're constantly just a novelty object to be presented by somebody's opinion. Just like Paul Reese when he wrote the book The Ox. Did he ask me how I met John? No. Did he knew who I was. Did he even bother reading that chapter in my book? No. He decided to write a total slanderous false story saying that I met him at a strip club on previous trips to Vegas, when I wasn't even a stripper when I met him, and I wasn't living in Vegas when I met him. I was in Salt Lake City, but we had been flown out to Denver. Stories are down there, so go check it out. But so, that's the stuff as groupies. You want to call yourself a groupie? You could not handle this. You cannot handle what goes with it, because it's such a double-edged sword. Like I said, groupie, whore, prostitute, tub tarts. Because, and another thing Hawk did is I was writing him like, hey, groupie here, don't, it's not what you think. And part of what I actually posted was, and people you know, like James Hetfield, I was 15 when I met him. With the fake ID and at my own volition. I was actually supposed to go with Jakey Lee, but guess what? I got tossed over James Hetfield's shoulder, thrown into the van, and taken to the hotel, much like you degraded Jimmy Page for doing to Lori Mannix. But when I posted that I was 15 when I met James, wow, that comment went mysteriously missing and ignored. Because it's not the first time I've, and like I said, he was Lars's divorce attorney and the guy who supposedly, and I don't know if this is 100% true, but and if I'm misquoting him, because I don't want to misquote him, but he's the one that said he got Metallica the $1 million per night. That episode I did in corporate America taking over the music business. So, and I do have a lot of respect for Hawk because a lot of the stuff he does is very well done, very well researched, but this is not one of them. And he's a drummer, and back in the day, I guarantee you, there was at least one or two women around Hawk. He didn't know their age in the 80s. And there was other women. So welcome to the other women that were commenting on that particular post who were also part of the scene. You ladies know. We went with our fake IDs. Some of us did not have fake IDs. We went up of our own volition, seeking out these men. We were not R. Kelly or P. Diddy. We were the ones that were putting them in a bad position, that were compromising them. They weren't compromising us. So, our stories are constantly told for us. The dudes, like I said, Josette, the one groupie I did that episode on, where she had done the interview, and several times in the interview, the author of the interview, the reporter, journalist, whatever you want to fucking call them, because I don't think they deserve to be called anything, because they kept using the word prostitute, and she's like, it was a beautiful article. Yeah, she was only enamored because somebody wanted to write about her, and which is a very rare thing. But this author kept using prostitute. I'm like, how can you say this was a great article when she compares groupies to prostitutes? It's like, whoa, hold on. And like I said, let's not forget tub tarts, because, people forget that Metallica gave us a whole different type of groupie, the tub tarts, which served one purpose. But how conveniently, people leave that out. So, people use the word groupie to their advantage. They tell stories of what they think a groupie is to their advantage, not to our advantage. So, ladies, if you think you want to put that label groupie on yourself, oh, honey, you cannot handle what goes with it, mentally, emotionally, physically. I mean, physically, well, nothing bad physically for me has ever gone. Got crabs once. That was pretty fucked up. But, well, and then, there was John dying, but that didn't physically happen to me. That was just changed my fucking life. Because you're always made a parody as a groupie. You're always made somebody else's idea of what you are and what you want they want you to be. When in reality, with the musicians and rock stars, we are trusting. There's a whole different level of trust and loyalty and friendship that you guys don't get. Because when you are a groupie, you are hanging out with this guy for... Oh, hold on. Sorry, I had to pause for a second because Danny called. She's going to come over. Because if you guys don't know, Danny is another groupie that I've mentioned heavily that was a big part of Metallica. It was me, Danny, James, Lars, Ian Jeffries, Dougal sometimes, Fleming, Paul Owen. That was our little road clique. Another thing that I talk about here. But yeah, so I forget where I was with the groupie thing. But, oh, yeah, it's a different type of loyalty. Because what you don't realize, okay, you're hanging out with the guy for two, maybe 3 days while he's in town. And especially in the 80s when we were in high school. Because I'm not going to lie. I had a fake ID. And I will stand on my hill through 12 fucking lifetimes defending every rock star that I knew when I was wielding my fake ID, because they didn't know. They were my victims. I wasn't theirs. They were mine. So I will stand on that hill and die on that hill, and I will haunt your asses for the next 1,000 years after I die on that hill, because like I said, we were doing what we wanted. So when you would go out on the road with them, and especially when I would be like, hey, Mom, I'm going camping with Kristen. Kristen was like, hey, I'm going camping with Allison and her mom and uncle and stuff and blah, blah, blah. Because in the 80s, we could get away with that. And we did that all the time. There's plenty of other interviews with groupies from the 80s on this channel. You want to know where we were coming from? There it is. It's right here. Don't just fucking tell somebody else's story. You know? But you are hanging out with this guy for 2-3 days and he wants you to come visit him on the road or come see me out on the road. You are, let me adjust this a little bit, but you are trusting your life, your safety, your food, every aspect of your life, you are trusting with that musician, just as he is yours. You guys are basically, after 1 or 2 dates, say they're in town for 2 days, night before the concert, day of concert, they leave the morning after. So that's 2 dates with the guy. After 2 dates, you're going to go visit him on the road for a week. You're living together. You are never farther than 25 feet away from each other. You got to shit, shower, shave, eat, fart, burp, everything right there in that hotel room, on that tour bus, on that plane, in that dressing room, sitting on the side of that stage. You have to have such a sense of trust, loyalty, companionship, comfort in your own self and your daily abilities. Because one of the biggest things I hear from groupies that are going out on the road the first time is, oh my gosh, I have to get ready in front of him. I have to do my hair, my makeup. I have to shit. That's the biggest stress. It's like, oh, that's sweetie, it's like a gypsy tribe. We're all together. Don't worry. We all know each other. It's going to happen. He's having the same stresses. But that's the kind of friendships we have. You have to have a deeper trust, a deeper loyalty, and that he's going to be good to you, that he's going to take good care of you, that you are going to be fed, that you will have that little roof over your head at 24 hours at a time. And you are treated like a fucking precious little doll. Like, very, very much handled with kid gloves and on velvet pillows. And I love it. And it kind of gives you butterflies and it kind of makes you feel like a cute girl, or, you know, just like you are precious, like you are a queen, like you are a goddess. That's the kind of world that I remember as being rock and roll, not just with Metallica, but with every band I knew. Because, and a lot of people think that groupies are just quick jump offs. Oh God, we're not. I have Desiree coming on to talk about a certain musician that she spent, I think, around 4 years with. I could be wrong. Vincent Paul and I, 8 years. John Entwistle and I, 13 years. Met him backstage, Boulder, Colorado, when Sweet Sweet Connie was out on their tour, and a bunch of roadies we knew working for him said, well, let's bring the old world and the new world together as far as groupies are concerned. Because, see, these guys think of us. They want us out there. We are their ports in the storm. In a chaotic world where you are in and out of most towns in 24 hours a day, and you might have a couple days off in fucking Salt Lake City, guess what? They're calling up that friend, and they're just going to be themselves for a couple days. That's what we provide. People who are posting this as on their social media pages as influencers, or as a way to not boost up their influential facade, you don't get that. You are very surface. You are very skin deep. Not even skin deep. I mean, those people make kiddie pools look like the deep end of the ocean. That's how shallow them posting that is. So they don't get this. And like I said, you try being called hooker, prostitute, murderer, druggie, you know, and we're always being either parodied or put into a pigeonhole by Hollywood. I mean, and look at Almost Famous. Look at Almost Famous. Let's see, how old were those groupies? And Cameron Crowe? Everybody gives the groupie shit for being 15, 16 in that movie, but nobody gives Cameron Crowe. You give Lori Maddox shit for being... She was going down on that fucking LA Strip, and I'm not defending, you know, like people who hurt underage people. I'm not defending it. That is not at all what I'm doing here. At all, because I'm totally against that. I'm totally let's tar and feather that. You know what I mean? I think death penalty is too nice for some people. Okay? That's how I feel about those kind of people. But that's not what we're talking about here. You know, it's like you're on the road in all this chaos and you need to blow off steam. and you need that port in the storm. That's what groupies really are. Not the influencers, not the fake groupies on TikTok, not the people posting, filming 3 different takes of them walking up a stairs and or fake headbanging. Come on, and some people know exactly what clip I'm talking about. Ladies, if you want to share it down there, share it in the comments. Tell people where it is, because that clip personifies the shallowness of starfuckers. But, films like, and these are both Cameron Crowe films, and Cameron Crowe really kind of got it right. Almost Famous, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, that was actually a real reflection of what was going on as teens in our lives during the 70s and 80s. We could get away with a lot more because we didn't have cell phones, we didn't have social media, our parents had to trust where we were going. The second Gen X got their bikes at 6 years old, we were out the door. I was 8, but yeah, I was out the door. We were supposed to be, no more than 2 blocks. Oh, I was in the next fucking town over that took us half an hour by car on my little bike with my friends on that little fucking 2-lane highway to Rolla. Oh yeah, we did that a couple times. So by the time we were teens, some of us Gen X ladies, by the time we were in high school, going to hang out with the band was an easy peasy thing to get away with. And, it's like, so why glorify, Almost Famous and Fast Times at Ridgemont High? Because these were our realities. Sorry, and I'm going through the notes some more. And then, speaking of Almost Famous, we all know that scene with in Max's Kansas City with the band sitting at the table and Russell's wife is sitting next to him. And here's Penny Lane, kind of looking around. And oh yeah, worlds collide because you are always kept away. Those worlds, the road and the home are parallel worlds. We do not cross ever. So you have that constant dynamic that you have to kind of really understand and be okay with. You are part of their normal life out there on the road, even when they're off the road, and they're single. Because again, another misconception, the groupies don't care if you're married or not. Hi, this is one here me and my friends did, because let's see, there was everybody thinks, because you see all these guys married now, but they weren't. James Hetfield not married. Vinnie Paul never married. No girlfriend at the time. Steve Jones of the Sex Pistols, who I was with for 5 years, never fucking married. No girlfriend. Fuck. I was the closest thing he had to a girlfriend since Nita in 1979. John Entwistle, I was not with him until he and Maxine I met him, but I didn't actually sleep with him for 3 years. Maxine had gone into rehab because he had just married his second wife. And I was like, nah, I'm cool, So, people don't realize that groupies, yes, we do have morals. We do have boundaries. We each set our own, just like everybody else does in life. I mean, how many women are down at the bar in the fucking Springfield, Missouri, sleeping with somebody else's husband, boyfriend, whatever? How many DJs from Springfield, Missouri are sleeping with somebody else besides their husband? But yeah, you guys don't judge yourself, but you judge us groupies. When in reality, like I said, most of the guys that I was with, Glenn Tipton divorced, nobody at home. And I asked them, I'm like, who's at home? Because again, we can all hide what we just all, whether we're on social media or we're rock stars, whatever, we all just post what we want people to hear, right? So, and like I said, we always get our stories told for us. And it's a constant thing. Like I said, Hawk is just the latest to tell Lori Manick's story for her. He's just the latest in probably about 1,000 fucking people easily over the past 5 years. And yes, I even have my episode but I did it with my own twist, but I actually knew people that knew them. I actually know the same band members. I've actually seen Lori drunk in action, screaming and yelling. It wasn't pretty. But so, not in action backstage. Well, it was backstage, but kind of, but yeah, anyway. So, and nobody bothers to actually quote Lori Maddox or quote me. Like I said, Paul Reese in the book The Ox. If anybody's read that book, that's a total lie. I don't know where the fuck he came up with it, because like I said, he didn't even bother asking me, and he didn't have to ask me, because he could have just Googled it, read my book, read a couple interviews, because I had said in the interviews where I actually met John. You know, my YouTube channel was already out, and I'd probably already posted how I met John in 1989 backstage 2 years before I was even a stripper. Because then again, because I was a stripper, they think, oh, she seduced him at her strip club. Fuck no. These guys never came into my strip club, because sex never comes, my personal life never comes into my strip club, and sex and rock and roll, that was my personal life. And plus, when the lead singer comes in with the bass player and, you know, a few of the roadies, everybody in the band and the crew is just seeing you naked. Nah, my nakedness is only for the guy that I'm behind that hotel room door with. And see, people don't think we have these morals, but we do. Just like everybody else, you know, and sometimes I think we have a little stricter morals, because you kind of have to when you're living this life. You know, it's like when you are, it's like the story I tell with Junior from Megadeth. Because I walked off the side of the stage to go say hi to the guy in Suicidal Tendencies, who happens to be in a few of the guys, one of them who happens to be in Metallica now, but he was in Suicidal Tendencies when I knew him. And Junior got pissed that I walked off the side of the stage, was like, sent his tour manager over and was all, hey, get your ass on the side of the stage or you're off the program. Junior says to get your ass back on the side. Okay, so there are rules to this whole no strings attached lifestyle. We have a certain respect for each other when we're in each other's presence. We have a certain respect for each other, care, trust, loyalty, that you guys who use the word groupie so frivolously don't care. Start using what you really are, starfuckers, okay? I don't want to keep the groupie name out your mouth. Yeah. It just makes me so mad, because everybody else tells our narrative for us of any groupie. And everybody believes that that's just the way it is, because, you know, the herd starts whispering, or, you know, it's a herd mentality. It's a lemming mentality. Not Lemmy, Lemming. My nose, you guys, my allergies are just bad. So bad since COVID. I cleared it away. But yeah, like the way Hawk was telling the story with Lori being tossed over Jimmy's shoulder, or being tossed in the limo, like kind of like James Hetfield did to me the night I met him. He accosted me, but we ended up talking in the hallway of the hotel room where the bathroom is right when you walk in all night long, and the chemistry was fucking insane. Because there is chemistry. Sorry, you guys, I was starting to cough and sneeze all at the same time because, like I said, my allergies. But there was, you know, and a lot of people just think that it's a very physical, just a very cardboard exchange. Like, there's nothing to it. Oh no, there's chemistry. There's energy. There's trust. There's bonding in that hotel room if you're on the road with them. There's laughter. This person is the closest to you and you to them as you can get in that moment in time. For the time you're with them, there's nobody closer to your rock star than that groupie and the road crew. The road crew, man. Bunch of more people who get degraded because they're not standing on that stage. Well, they put it up and they're making you believe that these rock stars are gods. So, but yeah, so what else do I have here? Fast Times, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, and like I said, no one ever degrades the guys. Like I said, Cameron Crowe's story is applauded, but the groupies are degraded and sold for beer. Although I did lose Danny in a poker game to Tico Torres one time. Yeah. And your story always gets stolen. Like mine did with Reels TV, that scene in the Bon Jovi thing that they did on Reels TV, where they're playing poker, Salt Lake City, May 29. That came from my book and this channel. Because that's exactly what was going on. The real story, however, because they were never in a strip club that trip to Salt Lake City, because we were with them the whole time. And it was 3 days after John married. Oh, and groupies, we're going to know everything before you guys know. We were on the MTV Club tour. We knew Milli Vanilli were lip syncing a year before the rest of the world did, because we were on the tour. We knew the sound guy, the FOH guy, and the monitors man. They had to loop the fucking lip syncing material. Of course, I was the first one to know about John. First ones to know about Metallica's videos when they were so anti-MTV. Yeah. Yeah, we were first to know a lot of things about Metallica because they told us. Well, I'm the person that got the bow in his hair and made him dance around like the Cowardly Lion. We made the Dirty ABCs, which came out in my book in 2014. And what year did those Metallica ABCs come out again, you guys? Tell me down in the comments. So you think the rockers don't pay attention to us groupies? You think we're just disposable whores to them? Not at all. Not at all. We're some of their best memories. We're some of their closest confidants. We are some of the people they have a loyalty and a trust that most of society will never understand. So when you use that name groupie so frivolously, you degrade me. You degrade any groupie, and including Scammy Les Pars, because she doesn't deserve to be degraded along with these starfuckers today. Even though I don't like her, she is a... But anyway, so yeah, when you're using that, look at me, I'm groovy, posting something that you took 20 minutes to film, realize you're the starfucker with the shallowness that makes this look like the fucking deep end of the ocean. Realize a groupie is something you will never be able to comprehend because your heart and soul is not that used. Because we live by our heart and souls, not by our egos. That's the difference between you and me. So, and some of you ladies know who I'm talking about. That's kind of directed. So, there you guys go. That is my little rant of the day on quit abusing the groupie name. Quit abusing us. We're road wives. You guys have no idea the support, the care, the kindness, the experiences, the love, the respect, everything that we have with these guys. Like I said, I mean, do you really think Metallica just sort of out of the blue? Well, let's make the Metallica ABCs. No, honey, they were reminded of that night by my book. And don't forget that they made a whole new genre of groupies called tub tarts. Because there are, like I said, those levels I said earlier, those were all what guys on the bus with the band had to say. And I tell you what, I have been protected and respected by every single rock star that I have had long-term relationships with. I mean, the one-night stands, that's all. You're still kind of just in the moment. You still kind of are trusting people to not sell you out or not give away your whole story. You still are relaxed around that person, even if it is a one-night stand, in ways you will never be relaxed around other people. So, there you guys go. And other ladies, tell me what you think about down in the description. Tell me your bad experiences with people, trying to shame you using the word groupie. Because, ladies, we own that fucking word. We own the groupie because we owned our lives. And until the Almost Famous came out, people use it as a degrading word, and it's not degrading. We are road wives, we are groupies, we are confidants, we are friends, we are lovers, we are everything that you guys cannot comprehend. So you have to simplify us because we're anything but simple. So, all right, you guys, and thank you to everybody who made it to the end of this video with my rant and stuff. You guys rock. I just can't tell you how appreciative I am of everybody who listens and just gets through the whole episode and just being here. You guys rock. And like I said, new ladies, introduce yourself. I'd like to see who we all know, because that's what another thing groupies and of all of us groupies, we get to exchange stories and we get to compare notes, because sometimes those guys use the same goddamn pickup lines and the same moves. You know what I mean? And it's funny for us to compare, because it's not just the fucking rock stars sitting around bragging about the groupies to the road crew and the other band members the day after. It's the groupies too. All right, you guys. So for those of you that are just hanging out in the nosebleeds, just, kind of being anonymous, not sure if you want to be part of the family, come on back. We've got a killer family here. Everybody's cool. Everybody is all about the love of music and the love of sharing our stories and not being afraid to be a groupie or to be, have those experiences or to be judged. You are not judged here. So hit that subscribe, become a member, hit the share. Let's get the groupie good name out there, and hit my bells. And we'll see you on Cocktails Rocktails. Cheers, big ears.